semi-finals at the end of May. But contrasting approaches this week, because Dobey played both Players' Championships earlier in the week, making the final of the second one, and the second one is something that Humphries decided to miss. And some people on social media said, well, what's he doing just playing the one? Well, get your facts straight, everybody, because it was his 30th birthday on Tuesday and he wanted to spend it with his family, and you can't begrudge him that. He's come straight to Glasgow, up from his home in Crewe, ready to do the double in the first 2 weeks of the Premier League, and he looks really relaxed, enjoying every single minute of it.
They're orchestrating the audience here in Glasgow. He walks to the stage, also the Orchid for his practice darts. We know what he can produce. Brilliant Masters final. I mean, we said the perfect start to the Premier League. It's been the perfect start to the season, hasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
TV darts for major darts for Luke Humphries.
Yeah, absolutely. You think about some of the things he's already accomplished. It's only the 13th of February. He has got himself fingerprints on the new Winmore World Masters trophy, the first person to do that, and there was a wonderful photograph taken of him hoisting that trophy and kissing the top of it. A really good symbol for modern day PDC darts. But Humphries has also done something at the start of 2025 that nobody has ever done, and that has gone beyond £1.9 million at the top of the order of merit. Phil Taylor didn't do that. Michael van Gerwen did not do that when he set a record back in 2017. Humphries is now eyeing being the first person over £2 million of ranking money in a 2-year period.
Yeah, and that's just ranking money, by the way, as Paul alluded to there. Premier League not a ranking tournament, so he'll be earning way more than that overall, plus the sponsorships and endorsements. Big money in the game now, and bigger money to come.
Yes, bigger money to come. That is something that Barry Hearn has talked about with our colleagues at talkSPORT, Jim White and Simon Jordan, getting that exclusive. But I think it's not about money anymore for Humphries, because he's very comfortable. He's about collecting trophies. He's got that World Masters trophy, he's got the Phil Taylor trophy, he's had the Sid Waddell trophy, he's had the Eric Bristow trophy, but he hasn't had this one.
Wants a full set. Just taking his time as he approaches the Ocker here, getting focused for the match after all the revelry of the walk-on, and he's finding the treble 20 at will. 140, I believe 205 after his first 9.
Dobey adorned in black and white as usual, with a little trim of electric blue at the top of the shirt, and a little smidgen of a bright yellow on the sleeves, with his nickname Hollywood on the back. Humphries adorned in his usual mix of blues. For cool hand, using those really long black stems and those green flights, which haven't changed in his career for the last 10 years.
And he will have the first go at a finish in this quarter-final, the fourth and last quarter-final of tonight's mini-tournament, as the Premier League has been for the last 4 years. Treble 19 found, single found, double 16, not a problem at all for the world number one, who keeps a cool head and holds his throat. 1-0.
Well, one of the great things about this format is that you always get blockbuster semi-finals no matter who wins.
After the 108, Dobey responds with a 180, and at the start of a leg as well.
And Dobey's going to have a lot of time away from home, like the other 7 combatants, but he would like to make the playoffs, unlike his campaign from 2 years ago, where he only managed 7th out of the 8 players after winning the first week of the schedule in Belfast, after winning the Masters and his subsequent selection. So maybe making the final last week, it may have stoked the fire of hunger for him to not just get a nightly win, but to also get to the playoffs for the first time.
I think there's a general consensus that you can pencil 3 names in for the playoffs straight off the bat. Luke Humphries being one, Luke Littler being another, and many still put Michael van Gerwen there as well. But that other sport could be ultra competitive. Are you a subscriber to that?
Maybe. It's a marathon, and I think we should probably look at it after week 8 to see where people are pitched. Nathan Aspinall hasn't got any points yet. he can fix that. If he wins the next 2 nights in Dublin and Exeter, he's going to be towards the top of the table.
Can Dobey fix this? Treble 18 needed to get a go at the ball for a 1-2-2. He finds it, brilliant adjustment, but cannot find the bullseye. Only the 25. 1-4-6 Humphries to double his lead.
All about the 19s here. Only gets 1, so the shot is off. Somehow gets a treble with the second dart. And then a single 18 to finish to leave 52. But Dobey, he's going to get 2 darters like 25, which he has right here. They have to go. Double 4 with the last dart, incoming, and he misses it by the same margin that he missed the double 8 on the other side of the board, half a centimetre right.
Yeah, you can't afford any rustiness early in these Premier League clashes, but Humphries misses doubles as well. Dobey comes back. Surely he'll put it right this time. Double 4, 3 darts in hand, 1 on the wire, but usable and used. 1 apiece.
Miraculously, Murph, it's night 2 of the 2025 Premier League live on the talkSPORT YouTube Darts channel. Half of the field are playing in their second Premier League. There are no debutants this year. It is a bit strange, but we do have a lot of people like Dobey and Humphries, Littler and Bunting who don't have that much experience of it.
The world's number 1 and 2, who actually contested the final of last year's Premier League, only played in it for the first time last year. That is remarkable.
Says it all, doesn't it? And the fact that Dobey won his very first night of playing in Premier League darts. Aren't these guys supposed to be nervous when they're on debut? Apparently that's not a thing anymore.
So, a 96 that Hugh Ware just called for Luke Humphries puts him on 190, but Dobey's a mile away on 386, although he might close the gap a little here. Treble 20 found, and a second for a 140.
Yeah, great use of the flights there to collect that third dart. 140 might not be enough because Humphries on 190 has crushed it with a 140 of his own to leave 50. Dobey almost 200 points back on 246. Needs 2 trebles to get to a makeable finish, and that's not going to happen. In fact, only 58 keeps him outside of the finishing zone on 188. Humphries, 50 points, single 18 and double 16, like it was chicken feed. Easy as that, and it's 2-1 Humphries in quarter-final 4.
Yeah, 2 brilliant dart players, but they'll always do the right thing, this pair, won't they? You won't see exhibition shots, even in the Premier League, from this duo. 43 from Humphries, and he's just sort of gesticulating. Of all of the tournaments where they might feel a bit of a draft, the Premier League's the one that the players often sort of complain about that, and there were concerns about that last week in Belfast.
Yes, absolutely. These are vast venues with big airflow. You've got to be able to handle it. And let's face it, Humphries made the final of the playoffs last year at the O2, so he did a pretty good job. He got second position in the table and second in the whole thing, so it can't have been that drafty.
Well, Chris Dobey's just hit 3 treble 18s, but he was actually going for 3 treble 20s. That's how windy it is. Brilliant setup from Dobey. 146 left as a result of it.
You're a bad man. 146 is not going to go. He goes for the 19s and gets a treble 7.
Peter Wright actually used to say that he'd pick his darts based on the sort of air circulation. Now he just uses a massive tungsten tombola.
178 for Humphries, looking to leave tops. That's not going to happen. 84, so a single 4 the last dart leaves him on 94. Dobey to draw level on 80, looking to climb the ladder here. Small 20 now needs a big one. Gets that right in the middle of that single 20. Tops for 2-2. Pinpoint. Climbs the ladder to the top. And we're on through here, approaching the halfway point of this best of 11 leg match.
And a little like Nathan Aspinall in the previous game, Chris Dobey has been perfect when he's actually adjusted, moved his starting position on the hockey.
You've got to be able to do that, because not everybody can bypass blocker darts like Luke Humphries. He does it better than anybody who has ever lived. I'm not overselling that. There have been times where Chris Mason have said, how has he done that? And he does it with ease. Probably why he's the world number one.
Perfectly pitched first dart from Chris Dobey. He's frustrated with himself having gone low with the second, which made it awkward with the third. Only a ton when he would have been thinking 180.
It was actually Glasgow where Chris Dobey made his televised debut in PDC Darts, when he reached the World Series of Darts finals 10 years ago. Lost in the first round, but that was the first glimmer. We saw that Dobey could play it. And look at him now.
Brayhead, I remember rightly.
Yeah, Brayhead.
Perfect arrow for Humphries. He can follow it. 140 the return, which leaves 141. He's looking to get the lead in this one after 5 legs. 2-2 at the moment. Dobey on 2-4-4, but that's going to change. Treble 20 and another. Full house.
It was meant to be. His body position was so still on that 180. He's going to get his just desserts, because a shot at 64 to break the world number one. It comes right now. 64 points, exactly double what Humphries has just left. Treble 8 leaves tops. This is it low, so double 10 with the last dart. Perfectly found to get that break of throw. And Humphries is not at the halfway point first.
Yeah, and we've got to that mid-match situation again where it does feel early in the game, but if Dobey can lead 4-2 here, the game is starting to get away from the world number one. 85. Only 85. Humphries as well, he done a brilliant setup shot, hadn't he, having missed a treble 20, bullseye treble 13 to leave double 16. They didn't get a go at it.
Just goes to show, doesn't it? You should leave a finish instead of leaving a non-finish north of 170. You can set up perfectly as much as you want, but if you don't get a dart on a double, you won't win matches. And that was the thing he did so well against Dobey in last week's final in Belfast. He was 6 from 7 in the final with a mid-90s average. It looked so much better than that because of the doubling.
Chris Dobey at the moment a mid-80s average, but still winning this game 3-2 over Luke Humphries.
Well, this is the trick. He's not trying to beat Littler from earlier. He's not trying to beat Van Gerwen from earlier. He's trying to beat Luke Humphries now. Averages are only relevant for the game that you're in. 154, and he's got 6 darts to get a 4-2 lead. There's a 57, needs another, gets it, double top for the biggest finish of the night. He's drastically underneath by possibly 9/10 of an inch as he leaves double 10 again.
Yeah, Chris Dobey's already tripled his leg count against Humphries from last week when he only got 1 in the final. Double 10 for 4-2. Double 5. Just above. May have to come to the left, goes directly underneath it, and Dobey opens up a little bit of daylight here. 2 ahead of Humphries and 2 away from the win.
Here comes Luke. 140, and he's got that look in his eye. That one that we saw a little bit earlier from Littler, as if to say, I'm not going to go that quietly. And one thing that has changed from last week is that we had 6 players in their 30s last week in Belfast. This week we've got 7 players in their 30s, because Luke celebrated his birthday on Tuesday. He's celebrating that maximum right there till he won it 1 after 6. Back comes Dobey, but no matter what he hits, it shouldn't trouble the position of Humphries, who still has a 21 point lead.
140 from Humphries, so 41 when he returns to close that gap to a single leg again. He's playing well in this game, Humphries, but Dobey's just getting the right shots at the right time. 180, cage rattler from Dobey, leaves him 22.
Cage rattling. You were saying 11 darter from Humphries to take that 7th leg. Dobey hits 2 maximums, leaves double 11 and doesn't get a look.
You see what Dobey did afterwards as well. He went straight up to Humphries. It was only a 41 checkout, but he gave him a fist bump and said, good shot, mate, because he knows what he did to him before, the shot before that.
Absolutely.
It was meant to be a disruptor.
Is that what we're calling it now? A disruptor? Well, Humphries is in a purple patch here. Ever since he went 4-2 down, he's turned into Luke Humphries that just can't be bulldozed. This is astonishing, this comeback. We've already seen a couple of really good comebacks tonight. Here he goes. What's he after here? Oh, it's only 5 perfect darts.
They just hit his second 180 of the match. Dobey's actually got double that tally, but it was 5 on the spin for Luke Humphries, and he did speak about wanting that prize, didn't he, in the week, that very expensive, the world's most expensive set of darts that is on offer for somebody who nails the 9 in the Premier League this year.
Coming from someone who has barely changed anything about his equipment in the last 10 years. He might have repointed these darts and changed them once. That's about it. Dobey on 250, looking to trouble Humphries' position again, but only gets a ton. Luke on 47 for consecutive 11 darters, double 16. Just missed on the outside, so the adjustment is needed to the right. It doesn't quite find it. Dobey's got an outside chance of stealing a 2-leg cushion again.
150, you may look at the 19s, Chris Dobey. Yeah, that was the intended route.
That's exceptional from Chris. Leaves himself on 32, which Humphries has now missed 3 times in 2 visits. He's still got 2 darts left though. It's a good job he had them left, because now it's 4 legs all. Astonishing stuff in Glasgow at the Hydro. Night 2 is not disappointing on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. This is really a great advertisement for what Premier League Darts and PDC Darts is all about.
Yeah, Humphries has turned this one around. 4 apiece now. He has the darts, he has the effective advantage. 361 after the 140 opener. Dobey on 405 after 3 darts in this leg. Make that 2 140s from Humphries, and suddenly the game is looking turned on its head.
Absolutely right. It's got shades of the first game of the night. Does it really matter how many maximums Dobey hits? Humphries has had the answer to these over the last couple of legs. And he's still got the lead here in leg number 9. 5
from Chris Dobey in the match, but 3 140s in this leg from Luke Humphries. Leaves him on 81 after 9. 180s for show. But it's those 2 treble turns that Luke Humphries is doing the damage on. Finds an inadvertent treble 7 to leave 60. 20 and tops over the top of it. Perfectly executed. And Luke Humphries is now 1 away at 5-4 up.
Well, this is a big blitz. We've just seen 37 darts thrown for 3 legs. That's an average around 120. And that's what it's taken to get the lead off Chris Dobey. Now, tell me, please, any physicians out there watching this, tell me how he hit that 140, because it just shouldn't be able to be done.
But that's how he's winning the game, the 2 treble visits. We mentioned it. Chris Dobey, 180s, he leads 5-2. 140 plus as Humphries this time does add a 3rd treble. 140 plus, Paul. 12-2 in favour of Humphries.
Well, there you go. The proof is in the pudding. And even Chris Dobey, who was 4-2 up, he's thinking, have I really been that bad in the last 3 legs? The answer, Chris, is no, because the world number 1 has shown the entire world why he is the number 1 player. And after 9 darts this time, he's left 47 again.
It's getting very tasty this night. Could it get tastier? Dobey gets a treble 20, can't get a treble 19. So Luke Humphries, the world number 1, coming back to defeat Dobey here for the 2nd week on the spin. 47 needed, 15 of it gone, another 16 gone, and the final 16 gone as well on double 8. A smile from Chris Dobey, but a win for Luke Humphries. The final last week, will he be heading there again after beating the man he defeated in the big money match at the end of the night in Belfast? Humphries gets going in Glasgow with a fantastic fight-back victory against Chris Dobey, and as you kind of referenced, Paul, he just entered into a purple patch in the back end of that game.
Yeah, didn't he just? I mean, Chris was 4-2 up. He was playing really, really well. He's thinking, right, I'm going to get you back for last week. I'm going to make my way through to have a crack at the Iceman. But it just wasn't meant to be. The 2 treble scoring, it didn't necessarily let him down. It's just that the world number 1 was finding so much. And I think this entire match is categorised by my next statement. 49 darts for the last 4 legs. You ask any dart player around the world that they could have 3 legs completed in 49 darts, they'd say, that sounds brilliant, I'll have that. Luke's just done 4 legs in that time. 4.
And it's getting quite exciting tonight, isn't it? This semi-final lineup. Humphries through to take on Gerwyn Price, and coming next, Michael van Gerwen against Luke Littler.
Yeah, I think the people in Glasgow are going to be very happy to see this game. And if it's anything like we've seen in the quarterfinals, we're in for a treat.
And when it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. That's where NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro steps up to the hockey. Think of it as your personal referee, keeping dodgy websites, malware and phishing scams from sneaking into your setup. It even blocks those pesky ads so you won't get distracted mid-leg. Go to nordvpn.com/dartsvpn and get 2 years plus 4 months free and a birthday deal. It's risk-free with no odds and 30-day money-back guarantee. Now stay with us here on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. This is coming next. It's the big one, the first semi-final. Michael van Gerwen against Luke Littler.